So, welcome to First Sundays, and I'm glad you're here. And we're here every Sunday at 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 noon Eastern, and you're always welcome to join us. And of course, this is going to be recorded and posted on YouTube. So, hello to those of you who are watching this video. So, today I was meditating, and at the very end of my meditation, I had this question. I mean, sometimes I think when you're really still, you can really hear what needs to be looked at or said or addressed. And I was thinking about the difficult times that some of us are facing, whether it's personal and the loss of a loved one, or sickness, or challenges like that, or whether it's more globally focused, like what's going to happen. Are we going to have World War III, and who's going to get elected, and what in the world's going on? So, oftentimes I say your meditation is informed by an intention. I mean, we all decided to learn to meditate at one point in time. We all wanted to be here. We all intend for something to happen. But then I was asking, well, what's the difference between intention, which I often focus on, and a lot of people do, and then aspiration? And so aspiration for me is more maybe lofty. Maybe there's no direct path to whatever it is you aspire to experience, be, or do. But aspirations I believe, are where we need to be right now. We need to aspire. We need to have aspirations for our community, ourselves, our family, the world. And so I'm going to invite you right now, before we begin our meditation, to close your eyes if you're comfortable doing that and it's safe. And begin to have, let your mind wander, let your heart wander into an imaginary realm, a possibilitarian that you can be, in terms of thinking about the future. And not just handling the issues at hand, but moving beyond challenges and moving toward possibilities for our world. Imagine that you're not limited by this body and this lifetime and this time and this age. Just imagine the possibilities of freedom from suffering. Imagine the possibilities of knowing that you are love. Imagine harmony in your environment, way beyond the challenges that you might be facing as in your life right now. If you could have anything, be and feel and do anything, what would you aspire to experience? Can you imagine a world where everyone experiences harmony and peace, joy and fulfillment, laughter and love? You can open your eyes if you want to. There's no particular way to do this, except for I think sometimes it's so helpful to get out of our daily challenges and concerns and move beyond into a realm of joy and of freedom. And so we can all do this. And I think it's important because intentions are very limited. They're time-based, they're time-bound. They're for this, I intend to be kinder today, or I intend to feel more content. But aspirations can be much more expansive. So that came to me in meditation, and I was doing a little practice like that. There's a lot of flying going on in my mind's eye. I don't know about you, but thank you for doing that with me. And I think that we can, as a collective, aspire to be so much more than we currently are. So speaking of collective, here we are. There's over 80 of us here right now. And if you'd like to, just imagine or tune into the fact that here we all are sitting wherever we may be, whether it's in the United States or Europe, wherever you may be, and Canada, Mexico, and simply recognize the fact that we're all breathing together. We might not be ultimately coordinated, but for each one of us is breathing, right? We're breathing in and out. Each one of us has this rhythm of our heartbeats. Each one of us, and it is an expression of the love force that animates everything. You don't have to feel it specifically. You can tune into it and imagine it. You can even imagine that we're all sitting in a large circle and we all have aspirations for peace. So today I wanted to talk to you about something that we don't often cover. And first, it's called open awareness or meta awareness. Open awareness. Open awareness is a little different than most meditations that we've been practicing over the years, I'd have to say. Most meditations include those three ingredients: your intention, or now we can say aspiration, your gentle, mindful attention, which is free from judgment. And the third ingredient for most meditations is what you're putting your attention on, a particular object, a focus, or sensory focus. But open awareness or meta attention is really just opening the aperture of your awareness to include what Jon Kabat-Zinn calls the nowscape. The soundscape, the sensationscape, all what's going on internally and externally, the nowscape. And I find one of the best ways to practice doing this, practicing meta attention, is to contrast focused attention to meta awareness. And this is called a circuit training. And I'm going to teach you and guide you into this practice, which I think can be very revelatory in terms of noticing the way your attention works. Now, my goal, and I've written a book about it, The Power of Attention, my goal is so that you become ridiculously in charge of your attention. And why would that be? Because in the midst of chaos, which I don't see settling down anytime soon on this planet, in the midst of strife, in the midst of concerns, there's a part of you that is untouched by all of that. And you can always reclaim your attention away from the drama that may be ensuing into this nowscape, into this moment that's right here, right now. So many of you know that mindfulness is often a practice that you pay attention to a particular focus, such as your breath, maybe the movement of you walking, maybe a body scan or awareness. And mindfulness also includes moving from the aperture that's more focused, like using the analogy of a camera or lens, to a wide angle lens. So we're going to be practicing doing this in a few moments. And before we do, I did promise some of you that I would be talking to you about the 5 challenges that come up in meditation. Now, often I talk about the 5 essentials. It's okay to have thoughts, be kind to yourself, don't try too hard, let go of expectations and stick with it. But they're also really highlighted in the world of Buddhism, 5 challenges or hindrances that come up for all meditators. And I would say that come up for all people. They hinder your ability to pay attention, whether it's to the breath or another object of mindfulness. And here's some of them right now. Actually, there are 5. So the first is sleepiness, also known as sloth. It's kind of a challenge to get excited and get engaged while your eyes are closed and you're relaxing. It's almost as if you do fall asleep. But here's a couple of ways to get ready for that. And those of you in my teacher training program know we've been talking about long, slow, deep breaths, or we've been talking about the breath of fire, and that starts to activate a little more energy in the body. So that's one way to avoid or work with the sleepiness inside, is to take some deep breaths before you start your practice. We can do that right now if you'd like. Breathing in slowly and deeply through your nose, letting your tummy expand, and then exhaling slowly and fully through your nose, pushing all the air out at the end by bringing your navel to your spine as energetically. Another way, and you can continue to breathe long, slow, deep breaths if you like to get that energy moving. Another way is to meditate with your eyes somewhat open, gazing softly to the floor, or attending to your posture, allowing this upright feeling to really take over instead of kind of slumping over like this. And I would say making another way, this is for the advanced technique, the next advanced practitioners, would be to make sleepiness, the feeling of sleepiness, the focus of your meditation. Another hindrance is being very restless. It's the opposite of sleepiness, but it's this inability to sit still. Now, some of you know that one of the results of meditation is the settling down of the nervous system, but another result is this release of stress. And sometimes the release of stress can create some restlessness, whether you can't focus on something or everything else seems very attractive except for your meditation. This is something that happens. And so when you have this feeling of restlessness that makes you want to get up from meditating, this is that fifth essential for me, which is stay with it. You be in charge of that part of the brain that wants to get up and load the dishwasher or create a response to an email or write down that fantastic idea you have. Another one is desire. And I know this was very present for me when I lived in the monastery, this desire to have the perfect life, the perfect partner, the perfect house, and here I was a renunciate. I wanted everything, and I could see that desire was in and of itself sort of a distraction, going on a shopping trip, finding the perfect partner, and I could feel in my body where desire lands. And just like the advanced technique of paying attention to sleepiness, you could pay attention to where that desire arises from. Where is that coming from? Not mentally, but in the body. Where is this sense of desire? Another one is aversion, the opposite of desire, when you might sit there and review some challenges you might be having with a family member or your own life. Dislike, irritation, frustration, being negative towards yourself. This is why being kind to yourself in meditation is important. And so you can say, you start being judgmental, and we all are sometimes, even though mindfulness suggests that you refrain from judgment, and then you start judging yourself for being judgmental. So letting that all go and returning your attention back to the focus of your meditation. That's why it's so important to have that particular anchor initially. And lastly is doubt. And I know I've told some of you this, but I think the Buddha once said the path to enlightenment is on the path to enlightenment, there's great faith. This is working. I know I'm on the right path, that aspirational sense. And then there's this great doubt, like, what am I doing wasting all this time? I could have gotten something done here over this next 20 minutes. So great doubt is part of the path. It can be the mind's attempt to stop you from seeing what's actually going on. It can be a big distraction. But I believe it's helpful to have doubt because then you can recommit to your practice. So anyway, those are the 5 hindrances. Let me read them to you again, just so you know. Sleepiness, restlessness, desires, aversion, and doubt. So I thank you for listening to that. I wanted to share all that with you because for me, they do come up and they will come up for you, and doesn't mean you're a bad meditator, does it? Okay, now let's get settled into our meditation practice. And again, what we're going to be practicing is a circuit training. We're going to be going from focused attention to open awareness and back again. So you can sit comfortably, some people say in a dignified position. Your eyes can be open or closed or half closed. We're going to be meditating for about 20 minutes. You can shift your position during the practice at any time, moving your arms or legs or opening your eyes or closing them. But the idea is to sit relatively still with your eyes closed or gazing softly to the ground, which I find challenging, but you may like it. Now we can take a few more long, slow, deep breaths as you begin to settle into this nowscape, breathing in slowly and deeply through your nose and letting out the breath slowly and fully through your nose. The key here is slow and full. It sends a signal to your body that it's okay to relax. It's okay to be right here, right now, sitting here, being rather than doing. And you can allow your breath to return to its natural rhythm and depth. And throughout this practice, we're going to be breathing naturally. The breath might change. It might get faster or slower, deeper or shallower. And let everything be as it is. So as we sit here, let's experiment with letting go of our concerns. Begin to tune into listening. The sounds around you, the soundscape. It's all happening right here, right now. As you recognize that you are immersed in and bathed by a myriad of sounds that are far and near, that seem continuous, or they come and go like the sound of my voice. And give your full attention to whatever sounds are being heard and the spaces between each sound. Notice if you have any judgments about sounds, evaluating the sounds that you're hearing or preferences. And then tune back into the soundscape itself, listening to the sounds of the sounds rather than your judgment about them. The mind might wander, just bring it back to the sounds. As you begin now to tune in specifically to the sounds inside your body. Maybe you hear your breath or some hum of existence. Maybe you hear your tummy rumbling or your heartbeat. Once again, welcoming everything you hear without resisting or wishing things were different. Gently turning your focused attention to the body, the various sensations of being warm or cool, or where the body meets the chair or the floor or the air around you. You may notice some slight movements or other sensations. Letting go of preferences, simply welcoming everything you feel, including any emotions that happen to be here, linger, or arise. Now notice the way the breath moves in and out of the body as you naturally breathe through your nose. However, your breathing is perfectly fine. No need to adjust it or regulate it. Simply tune into the subtle sensations of inhaling and exhaling. The pauses in between. And if and when your attention drifts away from the breath, bring it back here and let your breath charm your attention. We'll practice this for a little while, attending to the breath, the sensations, the sounds, the subtleties. Now, as we move our attention into the field around us, like we're opening the aperture of a camera lens, we're moving into open awareness or metta attention. Just imagining allowing everything in to your awareness. The sounds, the sensations, the thoughts, the feelings. Letting everything be as it is. If something calls your attention, you get to decide whether you want to spend time with that or simply opening the aperture of your awareness to include everything, resisting nothing, relaxing in this open awareness. Welcoming everything. And you might even silently say to yourself, I am accepting everything as it is right now, in this moment. And now we'll shift from open awareness to focused attention as you bring your attention once again to the breath. Feeling the breath moving in and out of the body, the way the body responds to the breath with movement, liveliness. Tending to breath awareness without judgment or wishing things were different, without trying to control or regulate anything. Once again, opening the aperture of your awareness, welcoming everything that you are aware of. You might even silently say to yourself, I am loving awareness. I love everything I am aware of. The sounds, the smells, the sensations, the thoughts, the tastes, the external, the internal. We'll rest in this loving awareness for a few more minutes and I'll keep track of the time. Whenever you notice something's catching your attention and you are judging it or evaluating it, come on back to this open awareness. I am loving awareness and I love everything I am aware of. Your loving awareness meeting the nowscape, including everything, resisting nothing. As our meditation comes to a close, I invite you to keep your eyes closed. Deepen your breath if you like. Bring your focused attention to your body. Notice the sensations that are here as you begin to invite some movement into the body and deeper breaths. You might invite some aspirations for yourself or the world. Letting your heart and mind wander into possibilities that nourish us all. Inviting some movement, stretching into the sky if you like, and slowly beginning to open your eyes at your own pace. First with a downward gaze, and seeing if you can maintain the loving awareness. Just appreciating everything you are aware of, the light, the sounds, the colors, the shapes, the objects, sensations. And then when you're ready, you can open your eyes all the way. There's no rush. That period between meditation and waking state is really important. So taking your time, you might even on your own choose a quote or a book to pick up, or pick up your journal, or listen to inspiring music. Just really taking your time so you can saturate your life with the awakening or awareness you have in meditation. So thank you for joining me today. I like to bring my hands to my heart, and I honor myself, and I honor you, and I honor the possibilities that we can create together. And I know that we have an impact on this world, and we are the medicine for hope and peace and love and freedom. So namaste. I bow to that loving awareness that's in you, that is also in me, that sometimes we forget about. So thank you for being here today. If you'd like to catch us live, if you're listening to this recording, you can always find us at the website. And I hope you join us again every first Sunday. So I'm going to stop our recording now at some point. There we go.